Alright, so recently there have been a lot of budding wizard masters struggling through the beginning phases, so today we'll be looking at a raid where we're level 5 and only have starter gear on. For wizard, if you're below level 5, nothing else really matters besides getting as many monster kills as you can to quickly level up. As once we get even just a second perk, we can easily go toe-to-toe with other enemies if we just play our cards right. This is a pretty common spawn, where we can see enemies on the opposite side, so we grab the Speed Shrine and Protection Shrine in case there's a group that we need to deal with. We pop Haste as it stacks with the Speed Shrine to go Zoom, and then we prep Fireball. The Rogue probably got hit by the skeleton, but we aim for the head anyways, just to try to do maximum damage. Again, we always grab shrines if we aren't under pressure by any threats, so as it's strictly a benefit. We see this door is open. By default, all doors are closed, so we push through in case the rogue isn't the one who opened it. I decide to clear the skeleton on the left first, as it's in our direct path to the zone, and we want to make sure that we have it clear in the event that we need to move. We can damage skeletons before they animate, which is really nice, because we can get a lot of damage in even before they begin strutting towards us by headshotting as often as we can, and finishing with a fireball to spread out our spell usage. For floor traps, we can easily avoid damage from them just by hugging the wall, as it's enough to not get hit by them in most hallways. Even with starter gear, it is possible to one-burst a lot of the common mobs with just a single use of Magic Missile. If we start our cast at range and focus on headshots, it's quick work to bring them down. Look closely at where we actually have to aim to ensure a headshot here. These boots are a great find for us, as it'll help out our damage just a bit. Something worth mentioning here is that magical damage and magical power are two separate stats. Magical damage being a flat addition to all our spell's damage, while magic power is a percentage that increases our damage. I value flat extra magic damage over magical power, but it's still great to have when gearing up. I decide to head north instead to loot the skeleton corpse and also be in a better position for the zone. I forgot to drop these pieces of the starter gear, so we'll do that now as we really don't care about the low stats. I know that I want to enter the room directly to my east to kill a skeleton mage and 3 skeleton archers for some extra XP and loot, but I don't want to possibly get forced into the room by zone, or possibly get gatekept by any teams that may show up, so we opt for the farther entrance. It's important that we maintain awareness of our surroundings, so we do a quick peek through this door to make sure that we don't get flanked while we're in the middle of fighting the skeletons. We start with a fireball to each enemy to let the burn begin ticking down their damage, and then we backpedal to get some distance. All mobs in the game have a minimum distance that they need to begin an attack on us, so by starting our attacks far away, they'll just walk in a straight line and eat our magic missiles. The skeleton mage can either 1. Fireball, or 2. Protection bubble. So we close the door and wait it out, instead of wasting spells trying to brute force our way through it. If you're far enough away from archers, we can oftentimes just crouch right as they shoot at us, and we'll just duck right underneath it. We hear faint footsteps as I step back to begin meditating, and then the fight is on. The barb is too close to blue pot, so let's sling some fireballs. Always remember that we have to aim through the entire cast, so keep tracking your target until it flies. Notice again how much we have to aim in front of the barbarian to actually hit him with our magic missile. Barb dies immediately, focus the rogue. Throwing daggers, let's strafe to bait them out, and turn to make them do less damage to our arms. He goes invis, so we start blasting, and cancel as he gets too close to start another burst. He was trying everything he could to be agile, so we drop the spell and just go for a good old bonk. For this piece of gear, it's always worth equipping gloves, as they don't have a movement speed penalty and therefore is strictly a benefit. For this pair, they have armor and magic resistance, which is nice to have, but the spell capacity doesn't assist us in any way, so it's just a dead stat. Spell capacity may matter in the future if Iron Mace gives us lower base knowledge, but for now it's only really helpful for clerics. Something to keep an eye out for loot-wise are the higher tiered longbows. The higher the base damage on the bow, alongside any mods that they give for extra physical damage, true physical damage, or physical power, sell for a fortune on the player market to other ranger players, or fighters. We always need to keep our eyes on our spell count. I know that I have 1 fireball and 2 magic missiles, so we need to be conservative to not be useless should we cross paths with another enemy player. Because of this exact reason, I choose to ignore the skeleton archer here. Normally I'd be going for the kill in order to get more loot and XP. Flying Skulls have amazing loot tables, and I recommend that we always check their loot, as they can have meds, jewelry, throwables, and just all around good items to check for. In order to avoid damage from the flying skulls, the moment their eyes glow and they vocalize, it means they're going to attack. When this happens, if we strafe and turn away from them, they'll just go right over us, so just be careful when you're engaging a horde of them simultaneously. Another tip is that you can avoid all wall spear traps just by crouching under them as you pass by, and you can lead enemies through them if you need to. We do a quick meditate here to keep our spell count healthy. I have PTSD from ranger sitting in high places in this room, so we pop a blue potion to make sure that we don't get one-tapped trying to extract. Alright, now that we actually got out and made some cash, the next video is going to be purchasing some budget gear from the merchants and going straight back in for another run. If that interests you, make sure to hit the bell so you don't miss it, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.